Ladies and gentlemen, we, people of color, daughters and sons of immigrants, we belong to Europe. We are the story of Europe.
Hello everybody and welcome to this new episode of We Belong, the podcast that gives a voice to the new daughters of Europe. I am Yasmin Owiran and I am your host, and today I'm joined by Dr. Pierrette Herzberger-Fofana, which is a member of the European Parliament representing Germany, and I'm very honored to have you here with us, so welcome.
Thank you very much, Miriam. I am very, very happy to speak with you today, and I enjoy it myself.
Thank you. I mean, I've been following your work since a while, and you're one of the few members of the European Parliament who are a person of color. So it is for us important to show that representation matters, and this is why we want to host this special series focusing on representation. So to start, I would like to ask you one word that best defines you as a person or your work here at the European Parliament and as a politician. What is your word for us?
I would say engaged, committed.
Committed.
Yeah, I think I am very, very committed because for many years I started to work on many issues in Germany. I think by that time maybe you even wasn't born. And I am here really committed, and that's why I'm the Vice President of the Development Committee, and I am a substitute member in the Committee of Women and Gender Equality. And that are some issues who are very close of my heart, and how I have said, I worked on that issues for many, many years, and I hope at least and also I forget, that's very important, discrimination and racism, that the big issues we had at the beginning, that's the first issues I was really as activist working. The other one, like women and development, I work on that, but on a scientific level. Yes, because I was at the university as lecturer at the university, and I made a lot of research, and in that way I was working. And then with the problems of racism we faced in Germany, I was really engaged, and I had then to be much more involved, I would say.
Engaged, and as you said, you first worked as a lecturer, but also you had this willing to change things, I believe, right? And so I'm very curious because I know that you were born in Senegal, I believe, and then you came to Europe. How was your experience getting into politics?
Yes.
Your path?
Yes. First of all, I was not born in Senegal.
Oh,
I grew up.
You grew up in Senegal.
I grew up in Senegal. I was born in Mali, in Bamako, but I was just born in Bamako. And I left, my parents left, I was, I think, 1 year or 2 years. It might be 2 years because my brother was born in Senegal.
Interesting.
And I do have 2 years. And so my parents, I think it's maybe important to know that my own biography, that my father is coming from Guinea, is Muslim, and my mother is coming from Cabo Verde, and she's Christian. And so all my life, I knew this diversity that everybody is speaking now.
Yeah.
I grown up in that diversity, and I grown up in a country. It's my country. For me, it's of course Senegal, my country. Guinea is my country. Cabo Verde is my country. But I am not a Senegalese.
Of course.
Yes, from blood. Yeah. And I think, really, because I know that. To be part of a country, you don't need to have the blood of that country.
Exactly.
For example, when I say I am a Senegalese, I feel completely Senegalese because I speak the language.
Yeah.
When I said I am a woman of Guinea, I fully feel like somebody who is coming from Guinea because my father is coming from there, and I know my relative too. And that's the same for Cabo Verde. And Cabo Verde, I speak even the language. So,
how many languages do you speak? I'm very curious.
oh, but now I don't dare to say because I have always the impression, for example, that I lose some languages.
Yeah.
The African language, no, but for example, English, I always say to my assistant, I don't speak English because it's a very long time I didn't speak those languages. So it was at 6 languages.
6.
And when you don't always speak in one language, at least I have the impression, I cannot speak English.
Yeah, you think you forgot it.
Yes, I say, no, if something in English, please don't take it because my English is not so good.
Oh, it is very good.
No, but yeah, that's the impression I have. Yes. And I always said, no, just French, but so French and German, okay, I feel very well and comfortable.
So what time did you come to Germany?
Oh, I come to Germany. It was a very long time. I came to France. I was in France, and then I come to Germany, and I wanted to be a German teacher. It was my dream that nobody understand. For me, Germany, from the point of view, I grew up in Senegal, and we have the French culture and the French literature. And I like literature, is something I like. Yeah. I wrote my PhD on the women literature, and I wanted to know something else. And I said, and I discovered Germany. But that time, in the end of the 70s, yes, nobody, at least from Senegal, were coming to Germany to study because we saw Germany, no. And the French culture is what is from France is good, is international. Yeah. What is from other countries nobody knows is not good.
Yeah.
So, and I can remember when I said I want to study in Germany, everybody was scared, and even my mother said, "Do you think it's very good? We don't have anything against German, but you know what happened? It might be you got problem." And since I am so optimistic, and I say, no, I like it. I wrote a lot of books before. I discovered Germany through the literature, and I found it wonderful. And but I have to say, the first book I read, a German book, I read it in Senegal. Of course, in French, yes, Goethe. I read it, and I found, it was like exotism for me. Yeah. Because when I read that, they were describing forest, things you don't make. Nobody in my country is going to say, I'm going to make a walk through the forest. I said, forest? What is that?
No, I get it.
What is the joking story with this forest? Some topic, it was really exotic.
Yeah, you were discovering a new culture.
A new, European country, which was not like France.
Yeah.
Yes, because I have been in France before with my parents and so on. I knew France very well. I think very well, at least what everybody knows.
Yeah.
Yes, but Germany, it was something else. And so I came to Germany, and I must say, Germany is the country of my heart.
Country of your heart.
Because I say I choose it.
Exact.
It's something else. I was born, I grew up, I didn't choose.
I mean, you're truly a citizen of the world.
Yes,
You've been living in many countries. And also, you have this passion for knowledge that I believe, as a teacher later, you wanted to share. And I think it's also work as a politician, right?
Yes.
Because you want to maybe, shake mindsets and try to influence the thought around ideas. And so, for me, it makes totally sense that from lecturing, you became a politician.
A politician, it was really from, from literature. From literature. And then I was very committed in a Pan-African organization, AWARD, Association of African Women for Research and Development, which Nawal Saadawi was the president, Yeah. Also somebody who is writing. And then I was the representative of that organization, and I went to Beijing. And by that time, I attended the summit of women, the Women's Summit.
Women's Summit,
And
yeah.
it was also wonderful because I was at that time very engaged on the topics of women, women in Africa, women in Europe, the problematic of women of Europe. And when I came back, I made an interview, and I don't know where this interview was spread. And the Green Party from my city came to me and said, "Oh, we read your interview, and we know, everybody here knows that you make a lot of conference, but about culture, African culture, about racism, because it was terrible at that time in Germany, just after the reunification. We got a lot of racism problem with the former citizen of East Germany who, you know, the reunification, it was also for citizens of East Germany a trauma.
Of course.
It's really a trauma. We can't say it today. It was a trauma. Everything was broken. And from the one day to the other one, they were confronted with a lot of foreigners, and they were not used with foreigners.
Of course.
Even if there are a lot of foreigners in East Germany, but that time, before the reunification, the foreigners were living apart, completely apart.
Yeah.
And so they didn't have a contact. And from the one day to the other one, a big population of Turkey, Vietnamese, black, it was a trauma. Yes. Yeah. So I see that, and I always said I don't want to point and say, oh, the bad German. No, it was a big changes, a trauma.
It's a process. I believe migration is a process, and especially with the heavy history that Germany has.
And it was really, and so I was, I spoke about racism we faced, but that time. And then I said the Green Party asked me if I want to be the mayor of the city. First of all, I laughed. I said, no, never. I don't make that. No. I am a researcher. I am not a politician woman. And, everybody said, yes, but you cannot just speak and write and say, do that. Yes, give some counsels, advice, gives advice what we have to do, and you don't engage yourself. Come in the arena,
yes,
and you have the possibility.
Absolutely.
And so I came in the Green Party. I was first the mayor, but I knew at that time that is just a signal. Yes, it's just to show we are here, we belong. How you say? Yes, Yes, we
the matter
belong
of self-representation to show that a woman can be a politician when she is. She came to Germany. She is a black woman.
And she can be a politician even knowing I am not going to be elected. And it was not really also the purpose of my election. It was to say we belong to that country. We have choose to come to that country. I was not forced. I didn't come in the luggage from anybody.
You came freely.
I come from my own willing. I wanted to come here, I belong here, and now I have seen that there are some problems. Maybe I can be a part of the person who can solve or try to solve it. If I say, okay, is possible that I give my person as an identification for all of our fellows, black fellows who are here, who are very despaired, what happened now, what they are confronted. And so, and after that, I was a city councillor. I was 15 years. 15
and then it just scaled up till you became a member of the European Parliament.
And then now a member of the European Parliament. I am very grateful to the German citizen because they elected me.
Exactly.
That's what everybody forget. I say, no, I have been elected from the German citizen who understand I am a citizen like they are all citizens.
Exactly.
And might be we can together, we can change the world, make it better for our generation, for the new generation. And I always said, if one day there are a lot of women from all over the world, I can say, I open the way.
Exactly.
And that's to open the way is for me my big purpose to say I opened the way. I have now a mentee, for example, where I trained a mentee to be next time part of, I hope, part of that parliament, and just to say I make it. It was difficult, of course, yes, very, very difficult, as life is.
Of course.
Yeah. Life is not easier for nobody.
Especially for being the first one or one of the few. It's a big responsibility, right?
Yes, the big responsibility. And maybe the problem, I think at least for all women, my other 6 fellows, that we work hard and maybe sometimes too much.
Too much.
And I am so happy that sometimes my assistant said, "No, that's enough." Yes, but I am very happy when they said, "You have to go home."
Of course, because you're passionate.
Yes.
You're committed and passionate, and that's something that I think it's important also to mention. You are representing so much just by being there. Yes. And sometimes institutions, they don't get this. We don't have a person of color who is a commissioner. We never had it in the history of the commission. So this is also an important point. We have very few MEPs. We have, I believe, around 24 people of color.
I say black people, people of color, people of African descent, and so on. We have very few. And maybe what you don't know, it was my proposal that we get a coordinator, a black woman. And I told that on the, as we met Mrs. von der Leyen in July, I can't remember because I wrote it, and I said, I think we need a black person, I say black person, African descent, somebody you can see is visible. Yes, we need this visibility.
Absolutely.
And I proposed that women, not that women, that a person, and now I said, even now, I think we have, we need, I think, many coordinators. For example, a coordinator for Muslim, yes, a coordinator for black person or African descent, coordinator might be Muslim and Arabian. They might be, so because we have Jews. For the Jews, we have a coordinator already. And for the Roma and Sinti,
Yeah,
so
I know that there is one for Islamophobia, but it's a white person. And I feel like it's okay if he's white, but I don't believe he's Muslim. So how can a person understand Islamophobia and the implications when he's not concerned? So representation is important because of that.
Yes.
My question for you is, what does it mean to be a woman of color at the European Parliament, and also knowing that we have special or very specific problems that we face. So for you to leverage those problems, what does it mean to be a woman of color here at the European Parliament?
To be women of African descent, black women, is a challenge.
It's a challenge.
First, of course, this is a very challenge, especially when I said I'm coming from Germany. Nobody believes that. That's always the first reaction. If you say I am a black person, I am coming from France, okay, and France was related to Africa a long time, as the colonial past and so on. But we say Germany, first of the thing, at the beginning, it was really interesting to look at, because everybody laughed.
Yeah.
The first reaction was laughing. When it's that, you say, oh, maybe I am not properly.
Why do you laugh?
Why do you laugh? What happened with me? What is wrong with me? And so on. But it means, and I think I can speak also for my colleague, we are just 6 women from African descent, 6 women, and there are 705 MEPs. And 6 women is nothing.
Yeah.
6 women who are really visible. But of course, there are the 20 other from France, from Arabian, from Morocco, Algerian. It's not Morocco, it's Algerian. The other one, they are coming from Algerian, from Réunion. Forget it, yes. Is also somebody from Réunion on the French party.
Yes.
So I think I get another problem because when they said we are French, nobody laughed. For example, by me, say, what, Germany?
Yeah.
How? And so everybody who see me know, look and understand I don't have a father or a mother who is white. Yes?
But it's also
And
that, like, it's you deconstructing a stereotype of what it means to be German, right? Doesn't mean that you have to be white. You can be a black woman and German. And also a member of the European Parliament representing Germany, most of all. So it's...
And of course, and I suppose all the other 6 got at the beginning the same problem. For example, simple problem. Of course, I say people laugh, but the security stop you, for example. And they, when you say, no, look at my badge, and they look at it 2 times, you know.
They have to triple check
Yes.
and to see if you're really entitled to enter, because they're not used to you.
Yes.
And
but you know, maybe when I say to be also a black woman, it means I am a voice, and I am a voice for all black women, not for just black and, or how you say, people of color, as I say, people of descent, for all, just not from Germany, but from all Europe. And that's why I wanted to be in the parliament, because it's a continent. And so I think our history and the relation we got with Europe will be visible. And what's important now, that we are going to try, as I try at least, to put also that topic in my work. For example, I don't know how you say, we say in France, we say devoir de mémoire, memory,
duty of memory.
Duty of memory, that the duty of memory, if we are conscious of that duty of memory, is it also easier for our work in the relation, in the politic, in the development politic? Because, you know, is a sign of respect.
Exactly.
First of all, is a sign of respect. It means also that our partner we consider them as partner and not as people who are going to beg, and not as
beneficiaries,
as
equals.
And not equal. And that's always what I said. Our partner who are coming from Africa, our partner, and we have to consider them at the same level. Yes? And for that, I think the duty of memory is a big help. And that's my concern, my purpose, and what I try always to say and to speak. And even yesterday I was speaking with the French ministry, and I told him, and I asked him, what do you think what happened with your French presidency? What is the main purpose? Because we speak about education and so on. We are going to give money. Yes, but how is it with the duty of memory? Yes. Is it something just not for Africa, but also for Europe? And when for example, just one example, if I said Germany has been a colonial power, so say, no, never. I said, of course.
Of course it was.
Yes, it was.
Of course it was.
Believe me, at least 90% of the German citizens don't know that.
No.
The first reaction is to say, never. We were in so bad, might be the bad German one time, but colonial, we don't have anything to do. And it came on the memory now when the German, 2018, when Germany gave back the skulls they had. I was there. I was part of the delegation, so yes, I was invited to see when they gave the skulls back, you know, and the process began, at least in the German population, 2018.
2018. It's quite late. I mean,
it's too late.
It's too late.
But what's happened is 100 years.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And especially, I think it's important. You know why? Because when we talk about reconciliation or moving forward with this partnership with developing countries, we need to understand that, yes, there was a past, but most importantly, for example, let's take France, which is a country where I used to live. There is young people, especially Algerians, but also Senegalese, but especially Algerians, they still have wounds open. Their grandmothers raped, their grandparents killed because of an Algerian war that wasn't even recognized up till a few years ago. So it's still a very heavy history we need to deal with.
Yes.
But Yeah, but just to ask you one thing, because you mentioned previously something very important about your presence at the European Parliament, and you being there, you're bringing these topics that are much needed. You're bothering, you're disrupting, and you're needed. And as you say, sometimes you enter and your badge, they have to check it twice.
At the beginning.
At the beginning,
no
at the beginning.
More. Yes, at the beginning.
I know that a year ago, and that's how also I got in touch with you in 2020 at the aftermath of George Floyd's death.
So yes.
You were advocating for a resolution to be adopted at the European Parliament.
Yes.
Then 1 week before, you had an episode of racism with the Belgian police in the city of Brussels. So at the time, we collaborated with you just to share your message, and you also took the floor in front of all the MEPs. And I believe this is also what helped the resolution passing with a high
sure.
vote,
yes.
of course,
yes,
after what happened. But can you tell us more about it? I want the people that are listening to us to know about this story.
Yes, it's a very, very sad story what happened. And just, I cannot understand until today why it went so far, you know? What have I said? I came from the train, you know, we're always traveling by train, green people. And what I have seen from my perspective, it was the black people with the policy and so on. And what I said, I never took out my handy. It's not true. I had my handy at the end because I didn't see the driver who's coming. I had already at the end. And when I saw a lot of police, and I had the impression, it's not really properly what's going on. And I make this picture, you know.
So you took a picture of the police that was talking with some other people, like some black people,
yes,
I believe.
talking about, okay.
Talking and being a bit...
from my perspective, in front of.
Yeah.
Yes. That was my perspective. And I was so scared. Then they all came to me, and it was really rough. And asked me my badge, I gave. I say, no, I am German, as well as I am MEP, and so on. He didn't believe that.
They didn't believe you?
No, because he said, what are you working? I said, I am MEP. He said, no, you make like with the hand. But I said, working like that, working. I said, I told you.
I told you.
And then I show false identity advice, my parliament advice. I took out and so I show my German advice, my badge. And, you know, I couldn't understand because I am not going to steal all those identity card.
Yes, and he didn't believe you.
He didn't believe that until the driver came. Yeah. And when the driver said, what are you doing? Yeah, it's the MEP. And they said he has to go back. They didn't want that he say. And then, you know, what happened on the wall, like criminal. I am not a criminal.
They put you on a wall?
They put me on the wall, wanted to touch me, and I said, no, you are not going to touch me. And I am so surprised.
You have immunity also as a parliamentarian.
Yeah,
but they didn't.
You have seen the immunity.
And they saw the badge, so they did this after.
Yes.
That's terrible. That's
you know,
a scandal.
And I cannot understand after I read that I was rough, and it's not true. And I am happy also that 2 police women said the reality, what happened, and they said of course I was angry. Of course. And of course, I don't want that a man too, as a policeman, touch me and so on. That's of course.
Of course.
And what happened is nothing, at least, until now. I am waiting like you.
You're waiting.
Nothing. It's nothing. I just, as my lawyer said, is not public interest on your case, and it doesn't happen. And what I think, and what I need, really, I need apologizes.
Of course.
I need apologize, and I said that they said is not true. I never insult somebody in my life. Yeah. I am not going to insult authority. I was angry, and I said, the only one thing I said, don't touch me.
Don't touch
and
me.
At the moment, he told, okay, it's a woman. I didn't recognize that it was a woman under the policemen. There were 9.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
me, just a man.
Yeah, it was such a stressful time,
Yes,
and I think it's
didn't-
traumatic.
And that's what I hope, that I get an official apologize. Because I have been humiliated. A lot of things was written about me, that I was like a stupid girl and so on. And it pains me because I recognize the authority, I respect the authority, and I wait, as I am expecting to, that they respect me.
Of course.
And if you didn't believe what I was, and what I am, is own problem. And
Of
that's
course.
what I expect.
But I believe it's emblematic of what it means, because that's what I say back then. I say, this is a member of the European Parliament. Imagine.
What happened to
Imagine
me, that's what I said.
to citizens.
That's why I spoke at the Parliament on that day. And I came, what is not funny, I came from, we were in a lockdown.
Yes.
And I came because of that resolution.
Of course.
That's why I came.
For the anti-racism resolution.
I came and I said, okay, it will be the anti-racism resolution. I want to speak. I didn't expect that I had so. And I said I hope that one day I get my apologize, of course, but I hope also that other MEP and all people who are always speaking about diversity, that they took much more personal assistant. All my assistants are black, for example, and we are 700. Why they don't take Muslim women, European,
African descent, immigrant descent,
immigrant, Asian men too? There are no men.
Of course, we are Europe too.
We belong to. We have to be represented.
Absolutely.
And that's really also my wish, and I hope. I will start with that, and other MEPs now I have seen some of they took also black assistant, and maybe one day we will be also women with scarf. Why not? They belong to their.
I know that there was 2 assistants when Majid was an MEP.
Yes, because he had only one man.
Yes.
Yeah, that he went away.
Oh, he was such a strong man. And his 2 assistants, they used to wear a scarf. On their first day, they asked them,
yes,
where are you going?
Yes.
Because they're not used to this. But that's why I'm very happy to have you here today, because not only you're committed, as you say, engaged, but also this story, like, it broke my heart, because it's like
Thank you, yes.
such an injustice. And as you say, you need an apology, but we need this to stop.
Yes.
And this is an abuse of power. You have the right to take a photo. You're a public person.
Yes.
It's a public space. And plus, like, they should believe you. They didn't. But just to close, because we're ending the episode, I want you to leave us with a key advice that you would give to a young woman, especially young women of color, that want to run for elections or would love maybe to get into politics, but maybe they don't dare. And this is very important because the next European elections are not that far. And I believe it would be very important to have more representation.
And I am quite sure, I would advise them, first of all, to have a topic that close of your heart, If you work with something you like, and you believe in that, yes? That's the first thing. You have to believe in what you are doing, and you make it with all your power, with all your heart, and then to create a network, because it's really important that you have a network, people who support you,
Yes.
They are going to support, and you want to be the voice for all of them. And of course, at the end, you have to enter in a party, you have to work in a party, close of your IDs, yes? It is not a problem in which party you are going, but to say, I can identify myself with that party, and I think that in that party, I can bring my topics, my issues, and I want it, and put your power on that, and believe. Might be, so when you say, I want to go to the parliament, you have to know everybody's going to laugh. That's stupid. But first of all, they're going to laugh. They're going to criticize you. Yes? That you have to be strong. You have to be strong and to say, okay, that's what I want, because I want to be part of the changing.
Exactly.
And you want to change the world, to be a part, a little, even if it's sparkle, very, very small, but to say, yes, I do my best, I contribute. And today, all those women who are here is because I opened the way in my mind, not to make, I was the person who pushed them and to work together, really have, I would say, somebody, you can speak with people, they can bring you ideas, it changes the ideas, yes, and work really have allies. Allies, network, enter a party, believe in yourself, don't be desperate, because what might be days where you are just coming something and go back and crying. No, don't cry. If you fall down, stand up.
Stand up.
Just
we
fall
need
down,
you.
Stand up, yes, and think you are going to be part of that change. I think that's important, and I think it's my advice, and I hope that 24, it will be a lot of women, a lot of men, a lot of people who are belonging to Europe, because Europe is diverse, and diversity is also our word. Diversity, and we are together in the diversity, and that's Europe.
Diversity. United in diversity. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having been with us today and for sharing this such an important advice, and also for your commitment, as you said. So inspiring. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I hope we are going to work together. And I hope I'm going to see you again. And maybe 24, you can say, now look at, you were 6, now there are at least 12, but better there are 27. Each member state is at least one. And
I hope. That's the goal. Okay. That's the goal, and we will support and we belong with this process. Thank you.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This was the end of our episode, and you can find us on all platforms and on social media. Bye!